Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praises be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness, we seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be a misguider for him. Whoever been given guided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness there's no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad, His servant, His messenger. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most worthy of praises and most exalted in glory. First of all, I ask for your forgiveness because being late, because I was in Ampang just now. So try to be quick. Qadarallahu masya wa fa'al. I late. So may Allah Ta'ala reward all of you for your patience. And verily Allah Ta'ala will reward those who have patience without any count. So today inshallah we'll continue. Page number 88. 88. Yeah, Islamic and un-Islamic laws. After the topic of the rights of the husband and the wife, about the properties that being that owned by the wife and how she spend the property or her wealth. Even though we said that inside the dalil, we can see that the Prophet ﷺ is saying about when the woman want to spend her money or her wealth, she must have consult the husband, even though she have all the right. We can see that, like I said, inside the hadith narrated by Bukhari and Muslim about the wife of Ibn Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhu, that when the wife want to give away charity, then Ibn Mas'ud said that I am eligible to get it, because Ibn Mas'ud's wife is rich and Ibn Mas'ud is not a really rich person. He's Muhajirin. So most of Muhajirin doesn't have any wealth when they came to Medina, migrate to Medina. So when Ibn Mas'ud said to him like that, his wife said that I will ask the Prophet first. I will not give it to you. So when the Prophet, when the wife met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asked him about what being said by Ibn Mas'ud, they saying that I can get the charity from you. Then the Prophet said, if you give your husband, you got two reward. You will get two reward: the reward of sadaqah and the reward of silah, mean connection with you and your husband. So it is actually the difference. The hadith is really emphasizing about even though Ibn Mas'ud can advise his wife about something, but in the end, the right of the property of the woman is actually belong to her. Okay. So today, inshallah, we continue Islam and versus un-Islamic laws. An important note is due here concerning Muslim living in non-Islamic countries, regardless of which one of the two spouses paid for a house or the major purchases. The law of the countries like the United States impose that the ownership is shared equally between the two spouses, and this is unfair and is prohibited from for anyone to take that which is not of his own. Actually, we in Malaysia, after the beginning of 1994, 1993, there's a new law being imposed related to what being done in Western country about shared property between the husband and wife, or harta sepemilikan. Harta sepemilikan. When he said just like that, some people actually saying that it is fair because the wife is taking care of the children at the house and everything. So even though the husband is the one that paying everything, but the ownership it's not belong to him only. Then the wife should get shared if they divorce, they separate each other, divorce, and then the wife can claim half of it. This is right now because something is actually wrongly understood by the Muslim. Because the thing is, when you look into that law, it's actually is not fair, because if the wife who is actually paying everything, like paying for the house and for the car and everything, if they separated, then they have a divorce, the husband cannot claim anything, but the wife can. Sometimes actually because in the Western country, because lack of fairness in their actually their law concerning women until today. Like in USA, if you go there, you have a master degree, same like a woman have a master degree like any other man, or PhD like another man. They will not get the same salary. Men always have a bigger salary than the woman until today. John Kennedy signed it, want to make that thing say go away. Obama signed it, but nobody can change it until today. So they want to topple out that thing, or any other things that they mistreated towards the woman, by giving the right to the woman. If they separated from her husband, they can get half or whatever property that actually they paid by the husband. This is actually something that actually that we said not fair, because you can impose this thing when the husband is paying everything, but you cannot do the opposite. When the wife is still paying for everything, the husband cannot claim. The word harta pencarian, even in Malaysia today, only from the wife's side can claim, not the husband. Like if any millionaire from among women separate from her husband cannot claim her wealth. But if the husband is a millionaire, then the woman can ask many things from the husband. That is actually something that is not lawful in Islam. But today is well known, being practiced in some Muslim country. Some Muslim country, they are like me, Malaysia, like I said, starting from 1993 and 94. Before that is not known, not being practiced, not actually ever come. We know that if the wife is paying half of it, if both of them is paying for the house, so she get the equal right about the house because she is paying. Then maybe somebody will say that the word about the wife is taking care of the children, making the husband can go to work, have a pleasant life. So she should get some right about the wealth that the husband gathered. It's actually it's a ridiculous reason, because many people is actually related to that guy, a working guy. You go out to work every day. So maybe the policeman is the one that making your life become easy. Easy to go to work. Or anybody else that making you happy, making you feel pleasant. You cannot say that because of that, then he or she will get some of your wealth. And then your parent is actually the one that should get your wealth more than anybody else. But still, people doesn't understand that. So in that sense, really you must understand, because whatever right, like we said, the woman, the wife can take whatever she need for her and for her children from the wealth of the husband, like being said to Hindun, wife of Abu Sufyan. When Abu Sufyan was being told by to the Prophet by Hindun that Abu Sufyan is so stingy, doesn't want to spend anything for his family. So the Prophet said to her, take what is enough for you and your children. So that's the thing. She can take it. The husband cannot take the wife property. It's actually the opposite. Cannot. So in Islam, that is actually not being said here. Is actually about the law, about all whatever properties that you have with your spouse during your marriage. If you are paying for that and she is paying for that both of you is paying. Then you can have that actually the shared property between the husband and wife. Any separation, any death, then the wife can claim. But the problem is if the husband the only one that paying everything, or the wife is paying everything, then no such shared property will exist. It belong to the one that pay everything. Thus, if the woman is given half of her husband's property when he dies, or if he divorced her, she should not think that she has a right for it. If it been given to you by the law, there, given to you. Like we know that the Muslim will not inherit the non-Muslim. The Muslim will not inherit the non-Muslim, and the non-Muslim will not inherit the Muslim. No, even though the blood ties is there, but nobody will inherit each other. But when you go to the Western country, so they will give you the property whether you like it or not. You are the inheritor of the deceased. Even though you are a Muslim, you don't want that property, they will still give you. But in Islam, you cannot give. But sometimes actually this thing become things actually being discussed heavily between the non-Muslim, and basically saying that it's not fair. It's actually you have to understand this. If the parent is still non-Muslim and the son become a Muslim, if the parent died, the Muslim son cannot take anything, cannot claim anything from the properties of the parent. Same as if the Muslim son dies. So the parent also cannot ask anything. But like I said, but the law of countries that is actually not implementing the Islamic law, they will give whether you like it or not. It happened being asked to me during the faraid course. So they asked about this. The person actually the family from Australia, family died, the parent died, then they cannot find any inheritor except the brothers, the brothers of the deceased that have become Muslim is there. So the court gave the properties to that Muslim boy because he is the sole inheritor for the deceased. Even though he don't want it, but he get. Then like that, you accept it and you use it for whatever you want. Actually, that is okay. But to claim, like I said, to say that is my right, that is what the author want to emphasize here. Means that she should not think that she has the right for it. Rather, she must seek her true Islamic share and give up anything beyond that. Means that for her, if she should get any 1/8 or 1/4 from the inheritance, then she can give away for charity whatever left. Other than that, you should not get half. In Islam, whenever a man died, his wife or wives will get only, if the person doesn't have any children, 1/4, a quarter of all the belonging, all the properties of the deceased. If the deceased have any offspring or any children or grandchildren alive, then the wife will only get 1/8, 1/8 of the inheritance. You can see this in Surah An-Nisa, verse number 12. Verse number 12, Surah An-Nisa is there, being told to us by Allah. So anyway, he said here, give away whatever, give up anything beyond that. Remembering that the day she will stand before Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and He will judge justly between her and all those against whom she has transgressed. Actually, because like I said, it's not fair. Right? You know that Robin Williams, one of the actor, comedian, is known that he actually very much like, because when we are small, he is actually, many of his movies are well known to us. So Robin Williams, you know that he did commit suicide. when they go into his life, they found out that he is actually being burdened to take care of her divorcee, her wife that he divorced, get the house that he was in. And secondly, he must pay the alimony monthly. But the problem is, we know that in his, the wife actually should get something, but not all lifelong, because Robin Williams want to get married. He get married second time, then he have to take care of the second wife, and also the ex-wife. So the burden of debt is so hard on him. In the end, he commits suicide. So that is actually not really fair. It's really not fair for him, because they there in the Western country, they don't have any law prohibiting the wife from committing fornication or sleeping with any guys. Only that the alimony will stop when the woman get to marry somebody. But they don't have any law there to stop the woman from doing something that immoral sexually. So in the end, this guy, Robin Williams, paying for the ex-wife, paying for the new wife, and in the end, the burden of debt upon him so hard, so he commits suicide. So that's one of the example that we can see that the unjust happening there between Islamic law and non-Islamic law. Whatever she can get from the ex-husband, yes, like you say, about the muta'ah that being said, the price or hadiah because of the divorce is there for her to ask, but not more than that. Not to take care of her all her lifelong, even though they don't have any connection anymore. And she getting the house on top of that, getting the house and everything. So here in Islam, we don't have that operation, whether from the husband side nor the wife side. You don't claim more than what you deserve. Okay. Avoiding pretense and false claim. Women often like to show off what they have or pretend owning things that they do not. This is form of lying that is prohibited in Islam. A righteous woman is a clear mirror that reflects a good picture. Asma radhiallahu anha reported that a woman said to the messenger, to the prophet, he said, "Oh messenger of Allah, I have a co-wife. It is wrong for me to pretend having things other than what my husband gave to me to tease her, because co-wife. This day in Malaysia, because of one of the director of film actually getting polygamy, so the problem become a problem these days. So sensitive for a woman to listen about polygamy. But you have to know something. You don't like it is one thing, but to say that it's forbidden in Islam and to give a bad image about it is wrong. You don't like it, it's okay. You know that in life there are things that it's halal, but you don't like it. Like the Prophet ﷺ doesn't eat dog, the desert monitor lizard. It's actually have a specific form. So the Prophet, the companion eat it, but the Prophet doesn't want to eat it. It is not haram. You don't like it, is one thing. Like the onion or the garlic. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever eat this, don't come into our mosque. So the Prophet himself doesn't eat it because he want to take care of his mouth odor, because he is actually always talking to Allah, munajat towards Allah. So he want to take care of his breath. So but he doesn't. When the companion said, "Is it haram?" He said, "No, it's not haram, but I doesn't like it. I don't eat it." So doesn't like something is okay, but to make claims and doing things actually portraying something in Islam that is halal to become worse or bad is not good. Because in Malaysia, we've been portrayed about stepmother always become the bad one. and you look into the story of Snow White. Snow White or Cinderella? Cinderella. So the same being portrayed. Being portrayed bad influence inside the family. The woman is actually doing that. It's actually opposite our brothers in the Arab country. They don't have that picture being sent down to people that saying that the stepmother is bad and everything. So we in the society, always the media will portray polygamy as a bad thing. So this woman inside this story, she has a co-wife. So she starts to show off, to tease her co-wife, her madu, to say that I'm getting things that actually I get it, you don't get it. The husband is loving me more than you. So she's teasing the second wife or the first wife. I don't know. We don't know which one is the first and second. So only that she teasing, because doing that to hurt the feeling of the other wife of her husband. So he replied. He sallallahu replied, Al-mutashabbi'u bima lam yu'ta kala bisawbi zur. A person who pretend to have that which he does not is like one who wear two garments of deception. Saubai zur. Means that because she actually showing that he doesn't have, that's a lie. And to make the other party thinking that she is getting more, that's another lie. So two clothes of, garment of deception. So it's not good to claim something, even to just showing something that you didn't get, that you get from the husband, is wrong. To hurt the other parties. So false claim is actually wrong. The same as like claiming things that you didn't pay, but you're saying that you pay. This thing about paying for the expenses of life is actually will give you the right. We have a case before. A woman, she put all her properties on the name of her daughter, thinking that the daughter will still living, she will die, and everything goes to her. Even though she is paying everything, paying for the house, paying for the car. Allah Ta'ala make predestined that the daughter died before her. The daughter died before her. Not she is the one who died, but the daughter. So all the properties, the house, the car, is on the name of the daughter. So it happened that her son-in-law is a bad person. He came to the house, take the car key, and went away with the car because he knew that the car is on the name of his deceased wife. So he took the car. We actually at that time the commotion happened. Even we almost want to send people to get the son-in-law and take the car forcefully. But Alhamdulillah, the woman, she have all the record about payment being done by her about the house, car. So Alhamdulillah, the court giving her all the right. So it's not the son-in-law cannot get anything, cannot take anything, even though by the name of the house, the house is the name of the deceased wife, the car and everything. But because she have the record of payment, so carefully about that in the share, because we know that the payment being done by you, you didn't pay anything, you cannot claim. Even another incident happened that the parent put the name of their house on the name of the daughter or their daughter, and the daughter get married, and they are staying in the same house. Suddenly something happened. Then the children, the daughter and the son-in-law, try to banish the parent from the house, that they actually giving the house to the daughter. So because they are actually educated people, so the parent take the case, the problem to the court, the case to the court. And after the judge seeing all the record, the judge give back all the right to the parent and impose upon the children to pay for their parent, because they are living in the house that owned by the parent. They are actually something like that. So the record of payment is something that is really being respected. Consider you are the one to pay. And if the reason about putting names there, it can be accepted by the court. Anyway, something like that. So things that is not yours, don't claim it. Yeah, naive. The people that actually putting the names of their properties on their children's name, thinking that it's easier for them, is naive. Because some children is actually, Allah Ta'ala will test us. You don't know what will happen. And something that will be so hurtful to the parent if that happen. So really taking care about, inshallah, you think something these days, we in Malaysia, we have that, some product named as hibah wasiat. You go to the company, as if you are giving everything you own to them, and they will divide your properties as you want. So hibah wasiat. So they want to run away from the faraid, want to run away from the faraid, want to run away from inheritance of Islam. They think that they are better about doing that. And even they start to say bad thing about faraid these days on the social media, writing that, see what happened, you don't do our hibah wasiat, then this happened to you. They are not thinking about the cost that Allah Ta'ala have predestined for you and for your children. You should not do something like that. That's a trick. You want to trick Allah, as if Allah Ta'ala didn't know your intention about running away from the faraid. So careful about that. I know that you think that you want to give your children all the thing, but the problem is your brother, your sister, they actually are the family getting some of your properties. Like if you have only daughters, then your children cannot finish everything. Only daughters, if they are one daughter, they get half. She will get half. If they are more than one, they will get two-third of the properties. So the 1/3 or half of it after that will go to the other inheritors. That actually they are getting your property, your wealth, so that they will take care of your daughters. They will be the wali, the guardian for your children. That is the thing. So the other parties also has to be to be clear about that. You are not getting the properties just because you are related to by blood ties, but you are actually responsible for the children of the deceased. Not just getting the properties, but also about them. You are actually the people that actually related to them. Then you have to take care of their children. So that is the thing that we are being forgotten in our life today. So don't think about just want to spend the money as you like. Okay, tending the children. Tending the children is shared responsibility between the two spouses. However, it is emphasized for the wife because she normally spend more time with the children, and is it in position to exercise more supervision and guidance with them. Means that because the children is actually shared between the two. Only that the nature of a woman, she is actually more, I would say, caring towards the children. The father sometimes is really harsh. The way the father think about tending to their children is not really like the woman. That's why, because of that, the custodian of the children, hadana, if two husband and wife separated, if the child is less than 7 years or 5 years, automatically the wife will get the custody, because the care that the woman having is more than the man. She automatically will given to her, unless she get married, then will be returned to the husband, because conflict of interest, because the new husband will not really care about the child and only want to look at his wife. So the child must be returned to the husband, to the father of the child. So it's actually that's the way. So because of that, you know that actually the way of a man raising up children is not like women. So Allah is giving that, but shared between them. And the mother have more time, like we said here. Raising her children according to Islam. The children are greatest fruit of marriage. They are standing demonstration of its success or failure. Because normally, people will see to the children. If the children is good, then they say that the marriage is a success. But this is not always, because you know that among the prophet, like Noah, peace be upon him, that he have children that is actually from the believers, but he have a child that he doesn't want to go with him in the true religion. You can see that story inside Surah Hud, when he asked his child to come onto the ship, but the son doesn't want to go with him, and actually he actually died in that flood. So not really always, because sometimes we are wrong to say that if anything happen to the children, then the parent must be blamed. Always no, because Allah Ta'ala will test everybody. Sometimes the parent are people that is pious, have piety towards Allah, and the child is not like that. Also, like you can see inside the story in Surah Al-Kahfi, when Khidir killed a boy, that when he said to Moses about what happened, he said, "Wa amal ghulamu," and the boy, "fakana abawahu mu'minai." Both of his parents is actually two believers towards Allah. فَخَشِينَ أَنْ يُهْلِكَهُمَا طُغْيَانًا وَكُفْرًا. Then we afraid that he will drag their parent to tyranny and also to disbelief to Allah. So it can happen, but like we have to know that also that the Prophet ﷺ did make to us a clear actually rule, that by saying that kullu mauludin yuladu al fitrati, all children are being born upon fitrah. Upon fitrah means that clear good manners. Fa abawahu, then his parent, that yuhawwidanihi, making him become a Jew, or yunassirani, making him become a Christian, or yumajisani, or becoming a worshipper of hell, fire, like the Majus. So means that the nature, the original nature for the children is goodness. So the parent will make it become like that. But like I said, clearly you don't say that the parent is fail, because we told the story about that in the Quran. There are examples that the parent is good, but the children is like that. But most actually general rule that all children are being born on fitrah, not in bad manner but good manners. So guarding the children of all harm and raising them upon Islamic teaching is the only sure protection from shaitan and hellfire. Allah said in the Quran in Surah Tahrim, verse number 6. Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O people who have belief, qu anfusakum, protect yourself, wa ahlikum nara, and your family members from the hellfire. Waquduhan nasul hijarah. Waquduhan, that the fuel of the hellfire is stone and people, human being, and also stones. And you can see that the comparison this day when you have the commentary about the volcanoes. No, the volcanoes. The fire is so intense. You know, the lava from a volcano, if it's passed in our normal road, all things will perish. Even if you have a concrete wall, the concrete wall will melt down because of the intensity of the fire. So you can have comparison. We know that the hellfire is more than that. But Allah just giving some ideas. When you look into things, actually the stone is the fuel, not the gas, not the paper, not the wood, but stone. The stone is the fuel. Alayha malaikatun ghilazun shidad, appointed over it there are angels who are harsh and severe, means that they always do whatever Allah Ta'ala told them to do. La ya'sunallaha ma'amarhum. They don't disobey Allah. Whatever Allah Ta'ala told them to do. Wa yaf'aluna ma yu'marun, and they will do as they were commanded. Means Allah Ta'ala said to trash the human being. They will do everything. It's not because they don't have compassion, but they are really obeying Allah. You know, Allah Ta'ala said that the dwellers of the hellfire, some of them being insert a chain from the hellfire through their mouth and get out from their back. So things actually being done to them will be done by the angels, thrashing, hitting, and everything. So Allah Ta'ala said to us to really taking care about ourselves and our children from the hellfire. This is the first obligation. When you said about parenting, the first thing that the parent must really taking care about is actually protecting themselves and their children from the hellfire. When I was in Yemen, actually I have a conversation. At that time, we have the Yahoo chat. This day, people doesn't go into Yahoo chat. Why chat? They have the MIRC, just text. Yahoo chat, you can talk. So at that time, we have a group, a discussion named My Column, and those people actually go inside that room. We have discussion of religion, and one of them that came there is a non-Muslim. We thought he is a lawyer. So when discussion being thrown to us about what is the first obligation for the parent towards their children, then I answered with this ayah. Means that the parent must take care, make sure that they are safe from the hellfire, and their children also will not be harmed by the hellfire. So this guy said, I don't think that is the real teaching. The real teaching is you teach your children to respect everybody, whatever their belief, whatever they have in this life. You don't dictate them to believe in one thing, but making them to respect everything. Then I said to him about moral code. You said about moral code. It's actually changing. Once before, you know, a woman named Annette Keller. Anybody knows about her? Annette Keller. She's an Australian. She was an Australian nationality. She's actually a swimmer. She do swimming, and she actually being fined in USA because of wearing one-piece swimsuit. Not like these days bikinis, you know, until her thigh. The clothes is so tight, but she is covering most of her body. But she been fine because wearing inappropriate clothes in the public. That once before. Annette Keller, Annette Annette Keller. She is an Australian. So at that time, wearing like that is immoral. You know, if you compare to these days clothing, the way women clothing today, comparing the first when they founded America, the pilgrim came from Europe. They wear so big clothes. So you can see that the moral compass of human is actually tilting, not really by the good sense. It can change. Once before, lesbian, gay, LGBT is actually something that is being discussed by people. These days, people are actually telling you, if you don't accept it, you are a homo sapien. Not homo sapien, homophobia. Homophobia. So they actually start to call name, and these days the campaign is so vast. Even in cartoon, you know, cartoon. You give your children to look into cartoon. They can take the vocab and everything. They can learn something there. But like before, we allow our daughter to see the show Peppa Pig. You know Peppa Pig. So actually things that being done by the pig and his friend is actually her friend is actually so innocent. Suddenly they put inside that story one of the animals have two father. Two father. If two mother, you can see that polygamy is there. But it's about two father. Two mother actually happened. They said the conversation in Muslim country that the child went to school. Then she said to the teacher that she have two mother. Then the teacher is so happy. Wow, Muslim have accepted lesbian. But the child said, no, 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 no. My father married two women. Then I have two mother. So the polygamy is accepted. But the problem is, when they put two father, how can you understand? Except something like that. Few movies are being banned even in Malaysia because of that thing that they want to impose to us about the thing that being discussed. But today, something is different. So I said to him, if you just say to respect people, their moral code is actually just accept everything. I said, will come for you time that not wearing something is actually considered as modest. You are not wearing anything, you are modest. A moderate person. Alhamdulillah. Moderate person. We actually in Malaysia we have that thought of moderate. Moderate wasatiyah that being said in the Quran is actually you are not like the Jew that actually always lacking to do whatever been commanded by Allah. You are not becoming like the Christian. They're actually doing things more than Allah Ta'ala told them to do. Allah Ta'ala never ever imposed to them not marry anybody. If somebody can make a country, all of them become priests. You know what happened? Or become monk. No children will be born in that country. Something that actually, if in economy or if say in the future of the nation will be perished because of that. So anyway, that being told to them not being told to them to do something, but they do more. So we are wasatiyah, mean that moderate. We are not like this or that. Not extreme about lacking, not extreme doing more than what being told for us to do. But we in Malaysia, we have another explanation of moderate. A moderate is a person that not really good, not really bad. He can recite Quran with the beautiful voice, and he can sing and dance. That is moderate. This is the type of moderate that the Malaysian is trying to impose. To many people, say that he's not that bad. He's not that good. And that is moderate. Not really good is not moderate. You can say no. Don't become a saint. Even I thought somebody asked from my wife that she want to ask to find a husband because I'm an Ustaz. So he said, Ustaz, but not like your husband because your husband is so strict. So Ustaz, but a loose Ustaz, not really the hard one, the one that cheerful, joyful. I don't know the understanding. The moderate, the word moderate. So careful about this. In our days, something is actually something that moral compass actually is so tilting right to left and every 180, not moving really good. So that's why when you teach about your children, you want to take care about them. Is the moral code will be from the Quran, from the Sunnah. It's not from the norm of the people. Because like I said, the norm can change. Annette Keller was being fined because wearing one-piece suit. If you put today, you say that this is so modest. Comparing what happened from the clothing of women today's, this Annette Keller, she's so actually modest. But today, you can see that people actually throwing away everything. So that is the you have to know that because of the religion, you know what is right or wrong. Not because of the thinking. And the right or wrong from the religion will not ever change by the situation, by the time. And saying that it's actually not the same anymore, we can change. No, ever. Because it's not for you. to change anything from the religion. Tending her children is one of the woman's greatest responsibility. Fulfilling it brings pleasure and happiness to her heart and her husband. She should seriously handle this responsibility and never abandon it for the sake of earning some trivial money outside the home and watching some worthless show on the television. This is something that actually the mother of these days, they have the the social media or the television these days. I was born in 76. So in my time, before 86, you have only two channels of television. TV1 and TV2. TV1, TV2. TV2, TV1. Not more than that. 1986, TV3 come. TV1, TV2, TV3. Our world is so small. We have many times with others. You can go play. You don't being stuck by something. You want to see the television because you have the whole world in front of you. These days, if you look into what type of entertainment is being served to us, the television essentially have how many channels? I don't know. The channel, the Netflix, the Prime Video, the Hotstar, the Disney Hotstar, you name it. Everything is there. So even people, last time, when Hari Raya, when they eat, you go to your friend's house, you go to others. But these days, after Ramadan, you stop from watching any television. You recite the Quran throughout the Ramadan, the month of Al-Quran. Then start of one Shawwal, all the shaitan been released. Suddenly you say that you want to qada. You want to qada. You want to do actually whatever you left from the Ramadan. So all the TV series, the Korea 30 episode, the normal one 12 episode. You don't go away. You don't go meeting anybody. Nobody. You just stay in front of television. So sometimes things like this can make problem when you want to educate or you want to take care of your children, because you want to look at the sitcom or the series, and your child asking you, "Mom, can you play with me? Mom, can you do with me something?" Actually, I'm seeing that in front of me. Because my daughter will do that. Whenever the mother want to see something in television, then she start to ask, I want to play, I want to do this, to do that. So actually, when tending to your children, you should really sacrifice one part of it. And the sacrifice that the mother do, if you look into the history, like Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, Ahmad bin Hanbal, Ash-Shafi'i, most of them actually, all of them actually being educated, being taken care by the mothers. The mother is attending to them until they become scholar. If the father, I don't know what will happen. But the mother, actually, they really become the factory of creating ulama, creating scholars. It's known in Islam. Because the mother care, the father actually not really have that patience towards the children when they do something. The father will start with, go, no. The mother, Imam Malik bin Anas, Bukhari, all of them. Bukhari, Bukhari, all of them, scholars because of the mother. So the real factory for the scholars in Islam, the man in Islam, is from the mother. Not only about producing the children, but also tending to making them go into the right path. So actually, really in Islam is actually something that actually important to understand about this. But in our days today, not many people reading the history of the scholars. They doesn't know about what happened to them, who attend to them. I can give you some example about the story. It's actually quite funny. My father, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. Actually, once he told me to climb a tree, soursop, the fruit soursop, durian Belanda. He plant the tree, so the fruit is there. So he want me to take the fruit. I climb the tree, half of the tree. Then suddenly the fiery and not the kerengga, the left leaf cutting end came to me and start biting me. So I want to get down from the tree. You know, my father, what he did? He hold the parang and said, no, don't come down. Don't come down. Except with that fruit. I climb out and close my eyes and take the fruit and come down from the tree. He didn't turn to about the end on me. Just take the fruit and he went away. So the way of tending children from the father's side, father's way, and the mother's way is actually not the same. So a woman, when she understand about this, she should really think about caring for her children better, inshallah. So we stop here. May Allah Ta'ala give us more understanding. Any question? Inshallah. No question. Alhamdulillah. Any question online? No. There's one question. Okay. What? You can recite the question.
Assalamualaikum Ustaz.
Assalamualaikum.
If there is people picture hanging in house, what the effect on the dua? Is it acceptable? If one doing ruqyah to treat themselves, is it effective?
Say again.
If there is people pictures is hanging in house.
Oh, pictures hanging in the house. Okay.
What the effect on the dua? Is it acceptable? If one doing ruqyah to treat themselves, is it effective?
Okay, basically about hanging pictures in the house. The Prophet ﷺ did say that the angels will not come into the house that have dogs or pictures. The word pictures, if you really look into it, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, is actually saying that surah is something that is being carved into object, that we have a figure, because that is the thing there and then. But nowadays, you have the picture like the picture of you. This photography picture, it is not being carved, but really actually giving you the look. Your look is actually being imprint on a paper and being hanged. So the scholar said the ruling is the same. And some people say that it's not the same. I said that it's the same. Because the act of worship sometimes will happen from that type of thing. Because the surah being done before, because they really want to remember some holy man, good person, say they put some object as actually as remembrance of that person. These days, if you look into places like Kedah, in Kedah, people there, not all, most of them, the seller, the shop, they will hang the picture of the father of Tengku Abdul Rahman, that being said as Sultan Abdul Hamid, one of the sultan. This sultan, the people have believed that if you hang his picture inside your shop, no harm will be happening to your shop, and many good things will happen. Actually, Ustaz Aziz Sobri shared with me the beginning of the practice is because the Sultan Abdul Hamid went to a goldsmith, gold shop, jewelry shop somewhere in Alusta or somewhere else. So when he went, this shop was being robbed continuously. People actually continuously robbing the shop. But after the presence of the king there, the shop is not being robbed anymore. So this Chinese guy start to hang the picture. So the people actually start to follow. Even I met somebody when I was staying in Kota Damansara, in our apartment. So one of the place they build a shop there, a grocery. So I went there. I saw that picture. At that time, I don't know about the practice in Kedah about hanging the picture. So I look at the picture. And I asked the owner of the shop, who is that? He said, Sultan Kedah, Sultan of Kedah. Family member? He said no. So I really confused. You don't hang somebody else picture inside your house. But this guy is the Sultan. It's not the ruler right now. You have a new Sultan now. Who is that? Sultan Kedah. Your family member? No. I confused. So actually they have that things. So hanging picture can make you doing that type of belief and shirik. So from the start is actually that is the ruling. About the acceptance of your prayer, when the Prophet ﷺ said that the angels will not enter the house, can be affected. Your dua will not be said Amin by the angels. Even though you can say that in the Prophet times, the Kaabah, all of around it, almost 360 idols is there. But still the prayers will be accepted by Allah. But you don't, the more you have the opportunity to get your prayers accepted by Allah, the more you should get that things. Like, doesn't have picture inside your house is actually the best. And about Ruqyah, is it actually will give something? Allahu a'lam. Sometimes because that shaitan can play around with people who's doing Ruqyah. But they can pretend to be sick when the person recite A'udzubillah minasyaitonirrajim Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The shaitan will make up something, because you know that when you recite the Quran in Surah Al-Nahl verse number 99, Allah Ta'ala said, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ, when you want to recite the Al-Quran, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, ask protection from Allah, with Allah, from the shaitan rajim. Means that when you want to recite the Quran, shaitan is coming or running from you? Huh? Coming. It's coming. That's why you seek refuge in Allah from them. Okay, they will come. Even the Prophet ﷺ was praying. The Iblis came to him, want to put fire in front of his face. And when you actually praying, the shaitan will come to you where you are reciting the Quran. Some people actually wrongly understand that when you recite the Quran, the person start to wiggle around and say that, oh, it's so hot. Actually is playing with you. The shaitan is playing with you, making you think that you have the power, you have the strength to recite something, then shaitan will perish. But actually, maybe after that, he went out and laugh at you. Because some people actually being tricked by shaitan. So it's actually related to the picture whether the ruqyah will give some effect or not. Wallahu alam. We don't know. But really making your house be in the presence of the angels is actually good, because the angel will ask forgiveness for you, and will do the Amin. We say Amin upon your prayers, upon your supplication. That will make your life better. But the same thing, even though you don't have the picture there, you also have to take care about your television, what you are watching. If you're watching something that is not appropriate, the angel will go away. The same, the angel will go away. How can the angel stay there where people is kissing inside the television and you are watching, you and your daughter and everybody is there? I don't know, in Malaysia, in the 80s, early 80s, all the scene that is inappropriate being cut. But these days, you don't cut anything. Everything is there. That's your iman. That's your iman by yourself. That is actually wrong. Some people say that the government should not really becoming the nanny government, take a moral government. But the problem is because they are like the father. A wise father, doesn't just say that this thing is like if you have any poison. The wise father doesn't just say that the poison is dangerous for you and put the poison and the counter table with all the juice. The orange juice is there, the poison is there. It is not the wise father. A wise father will stop Means that just say to the children, this is wrong, but doesn't put it there in front of the children. That is the way. So even though some people say that we don't need the nanny government, when I say this, it's actually related to the whatever happened in USA when the health has a health federation. They have the FDA. They want to impose about reducing the usage of sugar in food, because in America right now they have the problem of diabetes. Early diabetes actually so strange, because from 3 children, 1 is diabetic. Whatever you see inside the movie, that is actually 0.0% of people there. The other people is actually really fat and blobby and everything. You actually being tricked about their life. So the FDA want to stop about consumption of sugar, but the problem is the company that producing the sugar, corn syrup, because they plant the corn so vast, so they want to sell, nobody want to buy it, so they make it as a sugar, so they want to impose to of usage. When the industry is using the sugar, they will get the profit. So when the government want to impose the usage, to reduce usage, all this company is actually using the Senate, the senator in the senators to back them up. So in the end, one of the campaign, we don't like nanny government. We don't want nanny government because we want to eat. We eat whatever we like. But the problem is in Islam, like I said, Ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, starting from you yourself, your family, you and your community, you and your state, you and your country. Everybody is actually responsible. Not really just you and yourself. Because you and everybody. That's why one of the saying of the Prophet before he died, he said, As-salah, as-salah, wa ma malakat aymanukum. Take care of salah. Take care of salah and take care of salah whoever under your instruction, your under your supervision. Whoever under your supervision, take care about their prayer also. So alhamdulillah, that's only the question, inshallah. Okay, alhamdulillah, we stop here. You have a question? Fadal. Use the microphone, people not here. And I also not really hearing good. Because riding motorcycle, the wind actually making my listening not really good.
So the question is regarding public display of affection between Muslim husband and wife. So such as like we see in modern times, sometimes husband and wife in public, they're holding hands. Is this permissible?
Okay, holding hand is actually being done by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Kissing, no. So there are things that can be shown and cannot be shown. Things that actually like heavy towards the sexual intimacy, we stop. But anything else like holding a hand, even the Prophet holding the hand of his wife, taking the hand in front of people, yes. But affection like kissing and everything is not being shown. You can see this is prohibited when you look into the Surah An-Nur. Surah An-Nur, about 3 times that Allah Ta'ala commanded for you to make sure that your children, verse number 58, Surah An-Nur. Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu liyasta'dhinkumul ladhina lam yadkhulul huluma minkum. Mean that, oh people who have believed, those who doesn't achieve yet the age of puberty, they should ask you for 3 times, and your servant must ask you. Other than them, actually they have to ask your permission all the time. But these children is so small, they can go out and in inside the house. But Allah Ta'ala said 3 times they should ask you. You making sure they will not enter the house, your room at the 3 times. Min qabli salatil fajri, before fajar. Wa min ba'di zahirati, hina tada'una thiyabakum, wa min ba'dil isya. Mean 3 times. This is the time when you are not wearing appropriately. You know, if the children enter the room before Fajar, and the father's, you know, izar or any undergarment actually start to open up everything. So the child will come and see what happened. Or even if they actually doing things that actually for husband and wife is actually permissible, but the children cannot enter at that time, even if they are actually not achieving puberty yet, not achieving puberty yet. Still, they have to be separated because that type of knowledge, that type of sin is actually not good for them. It's like, you know, giving children 8 years old the clothes of 80 years old person, because it's not the time yet, not the time yet for them to know. So don't give something to them like that. So if public affection, like I said, holding hand is actually permissible. It's done by the Prophet. But kissing and everything else like that is just for you or your wife inside your room, and not even in front of your children. Not even in front of your children. Okay? Baik. Alhamdulillah, we stop here. InsyaAllah, Allah Ta'ala accept all our deeds and making us be better day by day. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi